Yes, sir. What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, and we're back at it with another Forza Horizon 3 build video, man. Starting out in this oh-so JDM Nissan Silvia, man. If you guys are new to the channel and don't know how it works, we take one request per video uploaded on the channel. So if you guys want to see anything in specific, definitely don't forget to let me know down in the comments section. But in this one, man, we have a request coming from one person in particular. Fedley Clark on YouTube wants to see a 370Z, how it would look if I owned it. Now, for those of you guys who are subscribed to my other channel, I'm going to leave a link to that down in the description. I am actually a Nissan slash Infiniti enthusiast, own two G35s. If you guys want to see some videos on that, definitely check out my other channel, man. So when I seen this one, it was something that kind of jumped out at me. Not only the fact that it was a Nissan, but also that I would do it up as I would if I owned it personally. So what we're going to do here is jump into the buy car section here. Now I'm looking for a 370 2010. Appears to be the only model year that we're going to be able to get in this game, even though there are a whole lot more Nissans, man. Let me know if you guys want to see any of these builds on the channel. Before today's video, what we're going to do is jump up inside this 2010 Nissan 370Z, 40 grand. Actually, the base models nowadays here in Canada, I believe, are selling for just over $30,000, and that's tax in, man. So that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. Almost considered buying one of these myself, but decided to go a different route. But now that we own this bad boy, man, I think it's just about time that we jump into the upgrade section here. Now, I do have a couple of different ideas in my head, which direction I want to go with this thing, but we're just going to start out with the engine swap options. Now, obviously, we have the RB26 that is out of, I believe, R34, or a 6.2 liter V8. Not too sure what engine or what car that V8's out of, but I think we're gonna pass on both of those. Now, I'm a huge VQ enthusiast, man, member of the Strictly VQ car group in the GTA, as well as the VQ North Facebook group, man. So I'm a big fan of the VQ, which is one of the reasons that I decided to leave it inside of this car. Now, as far as forced induction goes, I'm thinking a twin turbo would probably be the best setup on this specific car. Now, the R35 Skylines, I believe, come with a 3.8 liter motor, which is twin turbo, which, if I'm not mistaken, is actually a bored out size of the VQ. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section, but I believe that's the case. So I'm thinking that's going to be a nice pick for this vehicle. Now, as far as the rear end goes, I'm thinking we're going to go with this. Now, I'm not sure. We have Nismo street rear wing or another Nismo street rear wing. It looks like there's two different Nismo body kits for this. Now, I am going to kind of keep with the theme and go with the whole Nismo body kit on this thing, but typically I'd probably go with just an OEM front lip and then opt out for the rear and the back. But since we do have the option for the Nismo, I think we're gonna have to do that, man, because ideally, even if I were to buy or be able to afford a base model, my heart would definitely be with the Nismo. So if I could, Nismo would be the way to go. Now, as far as the tire width, we're gonna take care of that both front and back. And now comes the fun part, the rim style. Now, like I said, I do have an idea of what kind of style of wheel I want to see on this car, but I'm just going to skim through a couple of options here and let you guys know when I find something that I like. Now, right off of the bat, I'm liking these Volk TE37s. Now, the stock wheels that come on this thing, I am pretty fond of, but as far as aftermarket wheels go, it's kind of tough to find a wheel that's going to match this specific body style. These cars are very round, and as you can see, the hood kind of jets out quite a bit, so to find something that kind of goes with that theme and carries the body lines is a little bit difficult, but I think these Volks here are a nice little touch, so we're going to go ahead and throw those on here. Now, as far as the differential goes, we're going to throw on a race diff just to get sideways. You guys know me, I'm a big fan of getting sideways. Upgrading those brakes, I also do like to stop suspension wise, we're going to go ahead and lower this thing right to the ground, and I'm going to do just a little bit of weight reduction on this thing. I think street weight reduction should be enough for this. Basically just getting rid of a few interior bits, rear tire, battery relocation, as if you would in real life. So now as far as the upgrades go, I don't want to get too carried away with this thing. You guys know me, I'm a racer. Intake and exhaust is one of the very first things that we're going to do to any car that we own. Actually, my minivan has an intake on it, so that should tell you how much of a racer I am, man. Again, check the channel for some footage on that, man. But I think as far as upgrades go, that's going to be pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and do a fuel system upgrade as well as ignition, and I think this should be pretty good. A nice modest upgrade. We spent just over what we spent on the car initially in upgrades, so I think this is going to be a nice rounded little setup. So we're going to go ahead and install this right now. Now that we're done with all of that, we got to jump into the tuning. Now, I've heard it before, and I'm sure I'll hear it again. You know, everyone just likes to point out the fact that I don't really tune my cars, man. What do? I just slam them to the ground, drop a little bit of camber on them, and call them a day. So basically, with me and my tuning, man, it's mostly for looks. I don't really get into any, like, you know, excessive amounts of tuning or anything like that. So if you are looking for a specific tune, my builds are more so for looks, man. But now that we got that out of the way, designs and paint wise, now as you guys saw, we started out with this nice little OEM gray, which I still think is a nice color, but I think we can do a little bit better. Now, if this was a 350Z, this nice little burnt orange would be the way to go, or a red, but because this is a 370, ooh, actually, you know what? I kind of like that red color. Let's try the manufacturer red there. Throw that on there. The wheels, I like the way that they are. Tint, we're going to go ahead and throw on. As far as the hood, I wouldn't mind seeing a carbon fiber hood on this thing with the gloss there. I think that's going to be a good look on this thing. A rear wing, can we do that in carbon fiber black without it looking out of place? You know what? I think we're going to leave that rear wing the way that it is. So that now that we got this all out of the way, the last thing that I want to do is apply a decal to the top of the car. Now I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to get, doesn't look like we're going to be able to get a carbon fiber wrap on here, so we'll probably just move this, black it out with a black vinyl strip, and I think that's going to give us a nice little amount of contrast here. I'm going to go ahead and take care of this right now for you guys. And now that we got that out of the way, man, we're going to go ahead and save that to the current car. And I think we are just about ready to hit the road. So what we are working with here, a twin-turbo Nissan 370Z, welded diff in the back, intake, exhaust, a few other motor upgrades in that Nismo body kit, man. So I'm excited to see how this thing can run. For me, this car, built more as a drift car as opposed to an actual race car. So I think we're going to have a little bit of fun out there. Obviously, it's raining, as one would expect drifting a Nissan. Hard to drift it otherwise. Maybe with a twin turbo you might get a little bit more lucky, but we're going to take this thing out on the road instead of just messing around the Forza Horizon hub here. Hits that red line very quick, I'm not going to lie. Turbo's spooling up, keeping those back tires spinning. Once we get off the gravel onto the street, see what this thing's really about. Now I cannot wait for Forza Motorsport 7 to come out. Actually hit the pre-order. Decided to do the pre-order in the store, which kind of sucks because I didn't get access to the Ken Block Hoonigan DLCs. I guess when you buy it online, you get a code, but because I bought it in store, I prefer buying it in store. So once, you know, the game becomes irrelevant, I can sell the hard copy as opposed to just owning the digital, which you can't really do anything with. So yeah, that's the reason I went that route, but it does kind of suck because I didn't get access to those DLC cars. But I don't know, if you guys know how I can get those DLCs with buying it in the store, let me know down in the comment section. But right off the bat, this thing is sounding amazing. A little bit heavy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did a little bit of weight reduction on this, but you can definitely feel when you get it swinging around those corners, there is quite a bit of weight to these cars. Now, even with these Nissans, back in the day, man, like the Silvias, the 240s, very light, rear-wheel drive, front engine platform, and they were great for drifting. But now the problem with these Nissans is they're just getting too heavy. Even the Infinities, just too heavy. Too many luxury options and not enough just straight race car options. But nonetheless, with a little bit of interior gut, I got my G35 to run neck and neck with a stock G37 as well as a stock 370Z, which was definitely something that made me happy. All the work that I put into my DE G35, man, to be able to keep up with two like pretty much brand new Nissans and VQs was something that definitely impressed me. But with a little bit of upgrades, I think it's safe to say that the VQ37, which is found in this 370Z, much more room for improvement than the VQ35, which comes stock in my G35 DE, which is the same as the 0304 350Zs. And we are having a dying controller here, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. But yeah, the same engine that's in a 350Z that is in my G35, which is kind of the reason that I went that route. I did want to buy a 350Z, but they're hard to come by and hold their values quite a bit more than the G35s do. I got my car for a halfway decent price, and my beater, my second car, well, I got that for pretty much a steal, man. So comparing that to a VQ37 370Z to buy, you know, the G35 still relatively cheap. But what I'm thinking we're going to do is pull off in this gentleman's driveway, put an end to this one. So as always, if you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to smash that like button if you guys want to see more. And you're not subscribed yet, definitely do so. We are, you know, we're going to keep this trend going as long as we can. You guys making requests, me building the requests. So definitely don't forget to let me know what you guys want to see. And I'm thinking that's about it. So as always, man, I am your boy, D-Nolly, a.k.a. Don Squally. I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and we're going to catch y'all at the next one, man. Peace. Oh, 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 no. Oh, oh, no. Oh. Oh, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh!